r/ask Reddit. What weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could? If other people are at my house having fun but I'm tired, I just want to be able to go to bed, but they can stay and have a good time. Friend of mine was the first to get an apartment out of our friend group. We all would hang out there all the time and just do whatever, even after she had to sleep early for work the next day. Sometimes she'd wake up early and all of us would still be awake doing who knows what, but it was just pretty casual. At some point she made copies of her front door's keys for us, lol. Edit. She's not a friend anymore for reasons I won't say, but at the time it was great. Edit 2. For those who think we just trashed the place, didn't know boundaries. We didn't literally do whatever and left. We would sometimes help with groceries, electric bill cleaning. We always took out full trash bags on our way out, so that we wouldn't leave her with the burden. If there was ever times she needed some alone time, we followed through. And no, I won't say the reason we stopped being friends. Sorry guys. Edit 3. I caved in. She met my homies and I through gaming and soon was in a relationship with a homie. She's from out of state and years after decided to move to our city with her BF and a job ready for her. That relationship recently ended in not the best of terms, and she didn't want to be with us as that wouldn't help her get over their breakup. She didn't do any of us dirty honestly, just that they broke up. I know it's a pretty underwhelming story. This was me : I got kicked out at 17 and got a rent house to myself with my grandpa's help. All my friends came over when they were displaced during Hurricane Harvey. I had 8 high schoolers not including myself sleeping in my little 2-bedroom 800 square featuring slum for at least 2 weeks. For a couple years I let a lot of homeless troubled teens I'd went to school with have a roof to sleep under and a shower to wash up in and sometimes food to eat. When I was actually able to feed myself, lol. We all struggled together. Edit to say that 800 square featuring was just an estimation for small and I really have no idea the approximate amount. I made a guess at the sizes of the rooms below if you all feel like you wanna be on r/thedidthmuth complete with some curveball measurements you'd have to find off furniture. Usually I eat that stuff up but I'm tired and I know some of you all like doing that stuff too. Short naps at work. Happily, now that I work from home, thanks COVID, this has become a reality for me. I am not a big napper but I get cold a lot, so I love working at home and taking a hot bath while watching a tutorial about something I have to build for work and clocking it. I am hoping when things get back to normal, they'll be more open to this WFH more. Staying completely silent in other people's company. I do this and I find it makes the other person very uncomfortable. I just have trouble keeping a conversation going. I'm the same way. I also find when people push conversations we end up talking about stupid stuff I don't care about. What's so bad about sitting quietly and just relaxing? The IRS telling you how much you owe in taxes. The IRS wants to do this. They are blocked by lobbying from the tax accounting industry. In virtually every situation in which you ask why aren't we doing this obvious thing that's obviously better, the answer is corporate lobbyists. Hell, the reason daylight savings time isn't permanent, i.e. we stopped falling back, is largely due to TV lobbyists who wanted to get dark early so we sit at home watching TV. I can believe that. People in the service industry should be able to tell a customer when they are being an a-hole. My old boss from when I worked retail flat out told me on my first day that so long as I wasn't being a total dong, he would always have my back if a customer was being an ass and I didn't bend over backwards for them. But he banned a few people from the store over their antics while I was there, and blew a couple Karen's minds when he told them to shut up and act their age when they tried their usual screaming fest. I love that job. That's awesome. When I was a lifeguard my boss was the same way. Thankfully in that line of work the customer isn't always right, but it was still a great feeling to know your job wasn't at risk if Karen went berserk. I once had a guy totally flip his lid because a new cashier took his money 10 minutes before free swim started, but I wouldn't let him and his daughter in the pool because it was still lap swim. He ended up storming into my boss's office and complaining for over 15 minutes. Afterwards my boss called me in and said if anyone asks, I'm reprimanding you. Great job handling that situation. Keep up the good work. Taking a social time out without having to smoke or occupy the bathroom. My work day is 6-8 hours. It's an open plan office. Lunch is social. and I have at least an hour commute per day. That's at least twice my maximum social energy per day. Commenting on this while occupying my work's restroom to take a break from people. Really wish I could just tell my boss, I need a few minutes edit. Jesus Christ, my inbox. Please do. Take a walk. That's what I do now. I just bring a protein shake and walk around the lovely industrial area my workplace is in, LOL. I would like to make it socially acceptable to tell employers that you're only in it for the money and it being a legitimate answer. What am I supposed to tell employers, that I have always wanted to work at a part-time job and get yelled at by Karens so I could just make ends meet? Edit. Spelling. What are you going to get out of this job, sir? This is a Wendy's. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? A union job with benefits. Sitting. On the floor or anywhere really. Cashiers need to be allowed to sit. The fact that most places won't let them is a load of BS. Aldi grocery store cashiers sit at their registers. Running in public to get to places quicker. Back when I actually went to the office in the city, I remember seeing this one woman a few different times running. And not in your typical running clothes but in a business suit during your typical rush hour times. The first time I thought she must be late to something. A few more times and I thought, wow, this lady is always late. Finally, I just decided she must just like running to from places. She must be the player character in an RPG. Openly talking about your finances with other people. A lot of people don't realize they're underpaid because nobody talks about wages. It's so bizarre to me that it's a taboo subject. We all rely on money in some form. Let's just discuss it. Edit. This comment blew up. I just wanted to state that finances in my view include things like how much debt you have, what your rent and other bills are, how much you have saved, etc. I can see how there would be negatives to discussing your salary with co-workers or family, but in my opinion, the negatives brought up that I've read from replies don't bother me. The people who would be offended or have expectations of me are not people that I would end up highly valuing their opinion. If I'm doing better than a family member or friend and they need help, I'll help them. But if they are jealous, greedy or generally not supportive, then I don't need them in my life. In Sweden you can view anyone's salary online. I was weirded out when I first found out, but now I really like the transparency. It helps workers bargain. If anything, keeping salaries a secret is more advantageous to employers than employees. Lots of government jobs have their pay online. Also, lots of government jobs have the step grade pay system so you know exactly what someone makes, especially once they top out. Being able to just wave or say hi to people you hardly know. There's nothing worse than an awkward 5-minute catch-up chat at the store with someone I haven't seen in years. Hey, sorry, I'm kind of in a rush, but you look great and it was nice bumping into you. Have a great day. Proceed to run into them 3 more times in the same store. Staying home when sick. I really hope this pandemic would improve that mindset. But no, people still think you're all lazy pose if you stay home when you're sick. I have always genuinely gotten mad when people came to work sick. A long time ago I was a restaurant manager and I just didn't understand why my GM insisted sick people came in and hack all over all the food. We were almost never truly understaffed. I moved to a corporate call support job and thought it would be better. Nope. People were afraid of losing their jobs so they came in no matter what because it was expected, even when it resulted in exponentially more sick people, which led to a loss in productivity. We were a freaking software company where every employee technically had full remote capabilities, yet it took a frigging global pandemic to normalize working from home. Being able to take a day off because you just want to, as opposed to having to come up with an excuse. Edit. Congrats to everyone who has a great job and great company that allows them to call out whenever for whatever reason. My team is very small and I am one of 2 in my role, so I always need a legitimate reason to not show up. I wish it were different, but it's what I've got to do to pay my bills. If it's anything, I do enjoy my job for the most part. America's so ducklameo. I get 30 days of paid vacation a year that I can take whenever and for whatever reason I like. And that doesn't include sick days. Edit. Yeah guys, I get it. Some people in the US have similar contracts. The difference is that I'm entitled to this many days by law plus basically unlimited days of sick leave if I provide a doctor's note, as is every employee in my country. Joke's on you, I get 10 total days vacation or sick and I'm grossly underpaid for my field. America ducking sucks. Being able to sit in silence with someone without it being awkward. People shouldn't feel obligated to come up with conversation. It makes interacting stressful. I do not believe in awkward silences. Talk about something when it comes to you and conversations will feel way more real and interesting. When you're able to sit in silence with someone comfortably, I feel it shows you enjoy their company. Me and my best friend sometimes do this. We order food a lot and find a deserted place, usually the roof of some building, and just sit there eating. Most of the time we talk, but those moments of tranquility and peace are really nice. He was the best friend I ever had. We still don't talk sometimes. I'm a guy and I get a lot of flack for complimenting people's clothing. I don't think it's weird, but apparently it means I must like men. If you've got nice shoes, I'm going to say they're nice shoes. As a woman who is dating a man who is very fashion forward and compliments things like that constantly, I highly encourage this. Compliments from women about your clothes is one thing, because we compliment everything and your dog, but from a man, just hits different. 4-day work weeks. This is madness. There seems to be more people excited about wearing capes than implementing 4-day work weeks. We need a 32-hour work week with no pay cut. I think productivity would stay the same. Eating alone at a restaurant or a solo movie trip. I mean, sort of limited now due to COVID. But before COVID, when people would hear of me doing that, they said they felt terrible and how depressing that sounds. I'm like, why? Just another day for me. Doesn't feel weird or anything. It's quite nice to get away from constant chats and have a nice quiet meal while being out and about. I just ate at the bar. Pretty much every place lets you do that. You can watch TV, look at your phone and have a meal in peace. I used to do this before going to see a movie alone. I loved it. I really miss a nice solo night out to recharge. I used to worry about that when I would be out of town working. I always thought that I was being judged, lol. Then I realized that I enjoyed it. The solitude of enjoying a meal and my thoughts. On the plus side, no one knew who I was, so why would I care? Complimenting other men. Nice coke. Thanks. It helps get the hands to lay. Wearing nicer clothes than normal for no reason. Yes. I'm usually in jeans and a t-shirt at work. Yes. Today I decided to wear a suit. No, I don't have a job interview or have to go to court. Sometimes I just want to dress up. No reason. Just for myself. I live in a small town and people actually wear their pajamas out to the store. When I used to go to the bar, it'd be the only one in heels. I love going to the city so I can dress nice and not be stared like I'm odd and feel like I'm trying too hard. Wearing shorts at work during summer. Why wear pants when you could be more comfortable? Edit. Thanks for the gold. I worked in an office where shorts were allowed but not jeans. CEO had some weird anti-denim hang-up. ETA. No jorts and no denim skirts either. I quit after 3 months for many other reasons. Not unusual. Denim is a low-class fabric to a lot of people. Plenty of employers perceive their staff wearing denim as being barely a step above presenting customers with a team of homeless guys in smelly rags. As a lifelong jeans wearer, I've never been a fan. Fortunately, I now have work with no dress code. Calling out customers for being rude. I had a job as a teller at a credit union back in college and I will always say the manager I had was one of the best I've ever had. I once had a lady who kept asking me for a new credit card and handed me her debit card. I looked on her account and said there is no credit card. There's a debit card, which is what this is, but that's the only card on this account. I can issue you a new one, no problem. But if you want a credit card, you'll have to fill out an application. She was adamant that what she had was a credit card. No matter what I told her, she said it was a credit card and demanded a new one. At one point she said, "Are you stupid or something?" To which my manager overheard and pushed me out of the way and said, "You will not speak to him that way, and if you're going to continue behaving this way, you're going to have to leave. I will not tolerate you speaking to my employees like that." I wish more managers were like her. Not wearing a bra. I feel weird, like everybody notices when I don't wear one in public and other women give rude looks. I just want to be comfortable. My girlfriend used to think that she needed to wear a bra all the time for the same reasons. I had to constantly remind her that all she needed to care about was how she felt. Now bras have become accessories to her outfits. This guy supports draping myself in velvet. A George, divided against itself, cannot stand not being always productive and not devoting one's life to making money. It doesn't matter if you get a fancy job running the US Treasury or just spend your time making YouTube videos of Mentos and Diet Coke. Just be who you're meant to be. Yes, siestas, in the middle of the workday. Neutral facial expressions. People act like anything that isn't definitely a smile is some sort of insult. Another reason to appreciate masks. What's the matter? Absolutely nothing, this is my face. Capes. No capes. Although I will say, Director Krennic's cape was super fly. I would also accept Dr. Strange's flying cloak, if you've come to bargain. There are many great capes in Star Wars. See also, Lando Calrissian's entire wardrobe. Wearing cloaks Lord of the Ring style. Duck jackets. All my homies wear medieval cloaks. I dig this idea. Outfits can be so boring. I want to go out dressed like the Mandalorian or something. Having your work ethic, not your ass kissing skills, prioritized and appreciated, both in jobs and school. Being awake late at night and sleeping all morning. I've been like this since I was a kid. Circadian rhythm is just backwards. Can't fall asleep before 3. I wish people didn't treat me like I'm lazy or something. I'm a pretty productive guy. I just get my work done while you are all asleep. I hate the judgment for sleeping in. Like, dude, I get my best sleep from 4 AM to 10 AM. I'm not a bum, I just don't sleep like normal human. ETA. Wow, I did not expect this comment to blow up. Nice to see so many people relate. Thanks for the award. Correcting other people's kids. Not physically, but telling them to quit their bullshit if their parents aren't doing it. Yes, and also being able to comment on parents being negligent with correcting their kids in public settings like restaurants. If your kid is throwing food around and you do nothing to stop it, I want to hold you accountable without you making a scene, please. Walking my pig on a leash. When my dog was a puppy, we met a guy walking his pig on a leash. My dog was so confused. He just rolled over and showed it his belly. I went to a dog park once and somebody there had a pig on a leash. My dog treated it like another dog, sniffed its rear end, and then reacted in the most traumatized and overdramatic fashion I've ever seen. Jumping back, barking a few times, then rubbing his nose on the ground. Apparently if you're expecting dog ass, pig ass smells really bad. Who knew? I wish that people would stop conflating women not wearing makeup with being unprofessional. I worked in a place where a girl was told she looked unprofessional when she didn't wear makeup. Yikes. Next day she should come in with clown makeup. LOL, that would have been awesome. She was pretty snarky in her response, which I appreciated. Skipping. It's more fun and energy efficient than running. I sometimes do it when I'm alone, because I like the way it feels. Absolutely, I reckon it's the mode of movement with the best energy use to speed ratio. That's because it gives so much mental energy back that you don't notice calories lost. Being able to move your body more in everyday situations. It is often socially expected to sit and wear clothing which makes it impossible to move. I would like to be able to randomly squat, stretch and the like. I just do it anyway. Probably readjusting your sack. I hate when mine gets stuck in a weird spot but I can't move it until I get home. Yes, or for women, adjusting your boobs or underwear. Or trying to get to an itch without appearing to grope yourself. Being able to be honest about how you feel without being bullied or belittled. Talking about our mental health issues. We all face some level of depression or anxiety. Why are we lying and pretending to be happy all the time? You know that thing we all do where we're walking and suddenly realize we are going the wrong direction or need to change direction. So we stop, pull out our phones, pretend like we read something, and then start walking in a new direction? Yeah, just start randomly changing directions on the fly. Edit. My first silver for this? Alright. Thanks kind stranger, and today I learned people are very polarized on this issue. Is this actually a thing? I'd just turn around. Nobody gives a shot what I'm doing. I'm just some random walking down the street. Why would they care if I turn around? Honestly, I've never noticed if when anyone else has done this, and I could not care less if they did, but it's one of those things where I feel like I'd look suspicious if I did. Men should be allowed to express emotions without being seen as weak. It upsets me to see people in pain due to things that aren't their fault. Asking a potential employer what the salary for a position is before jumping through 50 hoops with the application interview process only to find out the pay is crap. Going out in more costume style clothing. I'm not talking about overpriced Halloween store crap either. I mean being able to walk around in full Victorian era clothing, Jedi robes or good pirate wear. I'm tired of looking normal, damn it. Edit. To all the comments saying you can wear whatever, yes I know that. However, this question was about making it socially acceptable so it isn't a weird thing. I want to be able to see people just walking around in cosplay on a normal Tuesday and have absolutely nobody question it. Look at any film of a crowd from before the 50s and you'll feel like you can wear whatever you want now. It was just a sea of people all wearing the same hat. Introverts being allowed to skip parties without being judged. Or just have I'm sorry, I'm not up for it tonight be an acceptable answer. I'm an extrovert, but have limited mobility and chronic pain. I've lost friends I thought I'd have forever because they couldn't handle the fact that my joints dislocate for funsies, and sometimes all it takes is a weather change to destroy any plans I had. I got labeled a flake despite the fact that I was literally crying in frustration over missing a night out I desperately needed. It is deeply hurtful. Frilly dresses for adults. Am I the only one? I loved wearing them at Christmas and Easter as a little girl. Now I feel like I can't get away with it. Satin, lace, pastel colored ruffles, puffy sleeves, embroidered flowers and ribbons. A skirt that flies out when you spin around. Maybe even a corset. Looks silly on a grown woman. Especially if everyone else is wearing blue jeans and shirts. I sure miss dressing up like that though. Dude, do it. I've been wearing petticoats 24/7 since I was around 15. Open bracket. I'm 36 now. People love it and it can be dressed up or down for various occasions. Usually when someone compliments my dresses skirts I'm like, well watch this and spin for them, always get to do it. It makes me feel femme and pretty. You can too. Classifying women not wearing makeup as lazy, normalizing a fresh face on women. Even to formal events. Sure it looks nice, but can't a lady just rock some nice hair and a fancy outfit, the same way men do? Men hugging each other often and showing affection. I used to see this when I was younger. Then I think as a society we decided to label such behavior as gay. Edit. I'm female. It's just something I noticed. Edit 2. I'm happy to hear I'm wrong and y'all are all hugging each other where I can't see you. Destroy the thought of the customer is always right. Edit. Thank you for the hugs. Not drinking alcohol at gatherings. Edit. Wow. Gold, thank you. First gold. Cool to see men are like-minded people. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.